Hello. We haven't budged a fucking inch, have we? Hello.
You better be sounding like me because I don't sound nothing. I don't sound nothing like that.
You don't sound nothing like that.
Well, look here, mate. I don't sound nothing like that. You bullshitting. You're having a laugh. You are.
You having a go? You having a goofy gander?
You're having a fucking giraffe. You are. You fucking,
Oh god.
I fucking love British slang. It's so fun.
I know, right? Welcome to Final Fantasy, whatever the fuck this is called. The name is stupid. Ignore it.
Final Fantasy.
Dick small.
Yeah, that's the called.
Yeah. It's I've been obsessed with this game ever since I got it as a kid. I got a little PSP and this is actually the sequel. I got the first game. I didn't even know that the sequel was out until like years later. But I was obsessed with this until I broke my PSP after I slammed into a wall accidentally. I couldn't play it anymore.
You were so distraught.
Yeah. Fuck it, we'll just start with Cloud. Yeah, so...
Who the fuck plays Cloud? Okay, Lord.
Me, because Cloud is fucking so easy to control in this.
I'll give you that then. If you, I was surprised you didn't say that. But Cloud is so awesome. He's so cool. I was like, no, he's a fucking idiot.
He's a little mama's boy. He needs to stop whining. I hate Cloud.
This is my problem. Is that if this wasn't apparent to the entirety of the Nopolius audience,
Yeah.
I am not a Final Fantasy player. I don't play Final Fantasy games, and as a result, the entirety of the game in of itself just looks kind of shit. not this game specifically. This game actually does look like somewhat fun.
Just Final Fantasy in general.
Final Fantasy in general, it just looks really stupid.
I can kind of understand that. Like, I've always been a fan of Final Fantasy, but I can completely understand why people don't like it. Because it's very much like... It's the prototypical fucking JRPG.
Yeah.
Like, it's so standard that it's like, oh yeah, you need to actually do something really interesting to get everyone's attention now. Which...
I think my main problem is that the Final Fantasy fanboys,
yeah.
or the Final fanboys, as I would like to call them, is that they're so fucking cringe.
They are, but that's also just like fandoms in general, though.
Yeah, some fandoms can be cringe, but like some of them can be just somewhat normal.
Oh yeah.
They can just be normal. And this is the thing, is that it tends to be like Japanese fan bases.
Yeah.
Like fans of Japanese games, like JRPGs, animes, things of that such nature.
Yeah.
They tend to be very, very cringe.
Oh
and
yeah.
It puts me off something fierce from ever wanting to enjoy your shit, because like you just make it really bad for me to look at.
Yeah, the fan bases can absolutely ruin a game for you. Fuck, I died already.
Yes.
Great start!
Yeah, end of the recording, let's go.
Yeah, let's this is the end, boys.
That was fun.
But yeah, like, I really love Final Fantasy. I think, like, a lot of the writing especially is amazingly well done. But too many people cling on to, well, like, the games from the characters that I'm playing as, for example. Everybody unanimously, like, sucks Final Fantasy VII's dick. And it's the most boring, like, plot hole driven fucking Final Fantasy game I've ever played in my life.
But I think generally it's just a case of that these types of games are just... I have a certain enjoyment when it comes to things making sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And these games have no fucking sense in them.
In what sense? Because I kind of understand it.
Well, for example, I can sort of get behind the whole giant anime swords and gun blades, but they're not actually guns.
Yeah.
I can get behind that kind of shit, but when people start flying around and fucking shooting random shit out of shit and doing like this kind of stuff, like if this was just in this fighting game, I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
But this is in every one of the games. Is this shit, and it's just like I can't get behind it.
Oh, you're kind of mad that it's like it's mixing the two when it should be focusing on just the one type shit.
It doesn't know what it wants, kind of thing.
A little bit. I understand. Yeah. But that's what I say when it's like so many people suck the dicks of all the Final Fantasies that I think just suck dick.
Yeah.
I was like take Final Fantasy IX for example. That game is just like pure back to its old roots, like Dungeons and Dragons style, and it's fucking amazing and charming.
Well, I'm not necessarily mad when it comes to these kind of games. It's just one of those things of it's like I find them just too ridiculous for me to enjoy.
Yeah, a little bit. Like it always ends in like, oh yeah, here's the 4 treasures of the elements, and you have to collect them, and then you can fucking defeat the big bad boss man, and then he turns into an even bigger bad boss man who's essentially God.
I think one of the main elements that seem to dissuade me from enjoying them or trying them in the first place, is that one, it seems to have a big issue with the whole edgy characters kind of thing, anime protagonist kind of shit. But also, it has a sort of issue when it comes to its characters' like abilities. Like most of the time, they don't make sense.
The consistency, yeah.
Yeah, there's no consistency with its characters. But that is just like a thing when it comes to anime in of itself.
Yeah.
But another issue is that, for example, is that it's ridiculous, and there's absolutely no final fanboy. I'm going to make that a phrase.
Final fanboy.
Yeah, there's no final fanboy out there that can actually say that these games aren't ridiculous. They aren't wholly ludicrous in their entire premise and everything that happens in them. But I think the main issue is that they take themselves so seriously.
Oh yeah.
I can get behind ludicrous, dumbass shit as long as the thing doesn't take itself too serious.
Yeah, well, that was kind of like at a certain point, Final Fantasy started taking itself seriously as well. Like Final Fantasy VI is a lot more serious of a story, but it's still really well done. But like the charm of Final Fantasy in the early days, like let's taking 5 as an example, that game is pure silly buggers the entire time, and that's what's fun about Final Fantasy. And then you get like Final Fantasy VII, and it's like, oh yeah, eco-terrorists and a mama's boy who's gonna blow up the planet because he's a little bitch, and fucking Cloud being a whiny baby.
But this is my point: is that these games tend to be, well, obviously, barring the exceptions of the early ones, is that they tend to take themselves way too seriously for the things that happen and the story in of itself.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get into it because the characters are acting so seriously about a world where fucking giant
Moogles.
birds that the fucking people race, and everyone has, basically everyone has anime protagonist syndrome. Everyone literally is like fucking OP as shit for no reason.
Yeah.
It's quite literally, it's like that whole thing of, I was like, when everyone's, you know, the anime protagonist, no one is. Kind of got that issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been on this fucking tirade for like the past like 10 minutes about
It's
why
fine.
Final Fantasy sucks.
It's fine. That's what this is for. Because, like, I agree with you. That's the thing. Like, all of these, so many of these, rather, fans of series like this, they blind themselves thinking that this is the best series ever and it's no flaws. But secretly, Final Fantasy has been stagnating and has been kind of shit for a while.
Oh yeah.
Like, I actually thought, to bring up a more recent example with Final Fantasy 16, like, the series had to evolve at some point, right?
Yes.
And I feel like, even despite me not really liking the way more serious direction that it's gone in, it had to do something new, and I feel like they at least did it well enough. But so many people are just like, oh yeah, I want the old stuff but newer, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? You don't know what you want. Let people try things, because that's another, like, so many people, that's a whole studio of people making a game. They're gonna have tons of people saying, no, you can't do this, even though they want to.
Yeah. Most fans don't know what they actually want.
They really don't.
Problem.
They want something completely new that's exactly the same. Also, I died.
This one's definitely going to have the prefix of Nino sucks at this game.
Oh yeah, I will fully admit it. Like, I think part of it is, like, me not being used to some characters, but part of it is also, like, you can customize characters, so you can also customize, like, what abilities with what.
I was going to say put the little one. You know the one I'm on about.
Oh, I'm just at the character customization screen. I can do that. This is gonna be awful, because I do not play Shintoto. Hold on, let me actually... Let's see. Stunned by... Okay.
Offensive abilities. I also have those.
Okay.
And I am also a anime, you know, small anime lolly.
Small blonde anime lolly.
Exactly.
Oh my god, am I gonna have to fight this fucker again? I hate Squall so much. His character...
well, I was just gonna say, like, even the naming of said characters.
Yeah. Squall Leonhards, like...
They can't have, like, normal names. You can't have someone just called Brian.
Yeah.
The
most normal motherfucker is Sid.
Yeah. But it's just like... Yeah, but what's his last name?
I don't even think he has a last name. It's just like Sid 1, Sid 2, Sid 3.
Sid Vicious in there as well.
No, legit. There's a new Sid for every Final Fantasy game. They've put, like, Final Fantasy 9 has Sid 9. 7 has Sid 7, etc., etc.
But back to my original point of that the naming conventions in these games are so, like, really stupid, because it's like, why don't you can't just have, like, a normal name like Squall?
Yeah.
Squall, like, what the fuck is that? That's not a name.
Yeah.
Cloud.
Cloud Strife as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
if his character wasn't already written on his forehead, he has the last name Strife.
Like, if he had somewhat of a normal last name, I could get behind it. It's like, okay, he's got an interesting first name, but, like, his last name is somewhat ordinary.
Yeah.
Like Squall Leon Hart or something.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Like Sephiroth. Like, again, I don't know that many actual names. It's just a case of the naming conventions in the games are a bit over the top, and
Oh
that's the whole
yeah.
sort of JRPG thing, and it even comes into anime as well. Of that, they take things way too fucking over the top with everything.
Yeah.
It's like character designs generally. They make it so it's like so over the top. It's like, let's just keep adding belts and fucking spikes
Yeah.
and anime hair. Let's just keep adding that shit. It'll make the character cooler.
Yeah, dude, Final Fantasy X has a female character. Literally, like, I think as a joke, one of the main dudes behind that told the whole team, like, yeah, give this woman like 200 fucking belts.
We are going to annoy so many people with this.
Good. You're all wrong and we are all right. We know better than you.
Yes, because we have large penises and you have no penises, and as a result, we win. We win the argument. But yes, we are making somewhat rational arguments. If you actually get mad about this, then one, you're just proving our point to be correct. And two, just don't take things so seriously.
Honestly, yeah.
This is the issue, is that these fans tend to take these things so seriously. Their entire personality, their entire being is this thing. And as a result, if you attack this thing, you are now attacking them. When in reality, like most of the time, they could not give a shit who you even are.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like these people claim themselves as fans of whatever series, but real fans will not blindly defend the bullshit dumb shit in a video game.
Oh yes.
Like, they will point out the flaws and still enjoy it. That's a thing you can do. You can still point out the flaws in a video game and still enjoy the video game. That is not a foreign concept.
Yeah, so there's been many game series over the years where I've just been like, this game has got so many fucking flaws, but I still enjoy it regardless.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, the amount of fucking Dark Souls, I don't know why I was saying something else. The amount of Dark Souls games, which is another sort of JRPG kind of thing. I'd technically class the Dark Souls games as a JRPG.
I would classify them as hack and slash, to be honest.
Well, they're an RPG because you are playing a role.
Yeah, true.
Which, to be honest, the JRPGs tend to forget that.
Yeah.
The whole part of the RPG means role-playing it. You are playing a role, you're not playing a character.
Yeah. It is a role-playing game.
You are playing the role of, this thing. Of the hero, the mystical hero or something, some shite like that.
Yeah.
Now, you can play a set character, but there has to be a certain amount of, like, you can choose what the character does.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. If this is just a set story with a set character who has a set personality, then there's no role playing in that. But that's besides the point. Is that the Dark Souls games, I will admit, have a lot of fucking issues.
Oh, they do. They really do.
The more you look into it, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
But I enjoy them regardless.
Yeah.
I don't rabidly defend them as if they are my baby. Someone's walking up and punching my baby in the face. No. People can criticize them and still enjoy them.
That's what people are just missing nowadays. It's like, oh, you're attacking this. This is my entire personality, so I'm gonna defend it like my life depends on. No, it's a piece of entertainment, and there's qualities to it, and there's things that suck about it, and you can point them out.
Yes, this is exactly what I was saying. Is that people they build this thing into their very personality.
Yeah.
And so to attack it is to attack them. They can't seem to separate the idea of them and this piece of entertainment.
Yeah.
It's like the people who enjoy like a certain TV show or something like that. You question, it's like, well, that TV show is a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they will rapidly defend it as if you are attacking them themselves.
You tell some motherfucker Breaking Bad is kind of a mid-show, then they're gonna lose their fucking mind.
Well, it's like, for example, like Breaking Bad. I watched a bit of it. I watched I think up to season 3, and I got bored of it.
Yeah. It's got a lot of fucking pacing issues.
I'm actually quite surprised I got that far.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shows like that where it's just like people are rabidly fucking infatuated with it.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, it's not even that good.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like The Walking Dead, there's a lot of people that are rabidly infatuated with The Walking Dead as a series.
Oh, yeah.
But the show itself is fucking boring.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
The show itself is fucking boring. Like, the early seasons... Like, season 1 is alright, it's mid.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 is utter dog shite.
Yeah.
Season 3 kind of got a bit thick, but that's where I dropped out.
Damn it!
For some reason, I can never make it past season 3. But regardless, is that these things, you don't have to make them your personality.
Yeah, you really don't.
You don't have to be rabidly infatuated with them. You can just enjoy them.
Yeah.
Why would we turn this from, like, talking about Final Fantasy to fucking therapy coaching people?
The nature of conversation, Jake. We get on to Final Fantasy, and then we get on talking about the Final Fantasy fandoms in general. Fuck!
Yes.
I hate this character so much.
But also, stop calling them a fandom. Stop calling them Final Fanboys. I've coined this phrase, and I want it to be a real thing now.
The Final Fanboys. Let's do it. Let's make it a thing.
I will make this a thing. Well, actually, to specifically talk about Final Fantasy and their fandom, the Final Fanboys specifically, is that they are oddly rabid. For some reason, my brain had a fart there. They are oddly rabid. I remember, I can't remember specifically which one it was, but there was massive occasions when they were just like, this game is being delayed by just like a month.
Oh yeah.
And the fans went fucking wild, as if they actually have been told this game is never coming out.
Yeah.
A month. That's it. Just a month.
Yeah.
It's not like he's being pushed back by 7 years. And they went so far as to send death threats to people. They were fucking like boxing people. They were fucking DDoS attacking things. They were doing all these things for a game that is coming out.
Yeah.
It is coming. It's not like it's been completely cancelled.
It's just coming out a little bit later.
Yeah. And if anything, it coming out, in a month's time, it might actually be better.
Yeah,
because they might have ironed out some of the issues they were already having.
What was the Nintendo quote? A rushed game is bad forever. A delayed game might eventually be good.
Yes. I can't remember which one it was. When was the one where you were in that sort of like, where you had this sort of like gay band of dudes in a car?
That was 15, yeah.
Okay, it was 15. That was
the gay NSYNC road trip.
Yes, that one. That one was the one that was causing issues. Is that people getting so fucking rabid about it being delayed by like a month?
Yeah,
which is insignificant.
Yeah, a month of video game development time is literally just like, oh, here's a few bug fixes.
Yeah. Now you could say, well, why didn't they just release it like buggy and then patch it later? And they go, but everyone.
Then you're gonna complain.
Yeah, no one likes that.
You know what the worst thing is? Even if they delayed Final Fantasy 15 for like half a fucking year, it would not be good. Just period. It's like
Oh yeah,
they can fix all of the technical issues with it,
but they
but
can't fix the fact that the game is shit in itself.
the game is shit in and of itself. The story was unfinished. They promised to finish the story by like patching shit in the base game and like releasing DLCs for it. But guess what all those DLCs did? They just gave you backstory for when certain characters in the base game like left for a bit.
But
They didn't
that's
actually
also an
fix the
issue.
story.
That's also an issue in of itself of fixing story issues.
That's not gonna happen unless you
Well, well,
rewrite the whole game.
well, fixing story issues and or releasing extra story in DLC. Now I have to buy your DLC in order to
Yeah.
know what's actually happening in the fucking game.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like a what was it? Azora's Wrath.
Oh
That was
yeah.
the biggest example of that.
You
Of that
literally
they-
had to buy the ending.
You had to buy the DLC to get the actual ending of the game.
Yeah.
Well, that was fucking quick.
Yeah, I'm a bit over-leveled for this part, but I just wanted to show it. Because it's actually cool. Like, a lot of games, a lot of fighting games have like, oh yeah, just fight each other in these arenas. But this game also has like a whole ass overworld where you walk around and like find shit, and then it has this as well. It's
Oh, so,
really
yeah, this is
fucking
the-
in-depth.
Yes, this is the labyrinth mode you were talking about.
This isn't even the labyrinth mode. This is just like a part of the just base game.
Oh, okay then. Well, I'll just go suck a dick then.
This like that's why I kind of wanted to play this, because like for a spin-off fucking Final Fantasy game, this game has a disgusting amount of really actually good content.
Yeah. I'd say this is one of the outliers of a game that looks enjoyable. It looks enjoyable to just play.
It is. Like, you can
Oh
basically...
yes, that's generally you go. If it looks enjoyable, there's a good chance it probably will be.
Yeah. Like,
But my point is the normal Final Fantasy games, they just don't look fun.
yeah, they're all just turn-based RPGs. It's just like, yep, press the attack button, press the magic button, okay, boss defeated.
And generally, I'm not a big fan of those. I'd rather, instead of telling the boy to do something, I'd rather be the one doing the
it.
things.
I do agree with that. Like, in general, if the choice is between like live action, not live action, but like live gameplay and turn-based, give me live gameplay.
Yeah.
But some games can do a turn-based system really fucking well, like a Shin
Oh, yeah.
Megami Tensei or something. Like,
Oh, yeah,
in that
so-
sense, fuck yeah, but
I know what you're on about. I think one of my biggest issues with turn-based is that it actually takes a lot of agency away from yourself.
yeah.
Because, for example, there's been occasions where I've played turn-based games,
Yeah.
and I've been playing them, and I do an attack,
Yeah.
and then the enemy just absolutely fucking rails me with an attack during their turn, and I can't do anything about it until my turn rolls back around.
Yeah.
And in some cases, those enemies can do like multiple attacks. They can do like multiple turns. They can just give themselves an extra turn.
Yeah.
And so you're just sat there watching your characters getting absolutely railed, and you literally can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that is one thing that like I don't know, people see it as an improvement to the battle system, but like early Final Fantasy was just my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, right?
Yes.
And then later on they started having this I forget what they call it, like ATB system, whatever, where the turn-based, it's still turn-based, but it's on a timer. So you have to watch this bar crawl all the way up, and then you get your turn.
That's actually worse.
That is way worse. And people really like that for some reason. I'm like,
I've encountered that before, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, because it's just, like it's turn-based, sure, but it's just like, oh yeah, you're waiting for your turn, and then in between, these three fuckers have already had their turn while my bar is like climbing up still, and now I'm
Oh,
dead before I can even pull a potion off.
I've had occasions where, like, you know, I've been watching the bars. Like, I have
Yeah,
played the occasional game where they, you know, they do have this bar system.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and my bar just crawls up,
yeah,
and the enemy is just getting like 20 turns
yeah.
before I even
Yep.
get one turn. And when I get my turn, I have to immediately use a healing potion or use a
Hmm.
defensive stance or some bullshit just so I don't
Yeah.
die. And so I'm not going anywhere. The enemy is just slaughtering me, and I literally can't do anything because every time my turn rolls around, I have to immediately heal.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
give me the regular fucking turn-based system over the bar system any day.
oh yeah, 100%. Also, look at those titties,
I
Jesus.
was gonna say that is very distracting. She's not even moving, and they're like they've gained sentience.
They've just gained jiggle physics on their own.
Uh, it's rather distracting. Um, but actually, that's just a thing in like Japanese games in general. It's just like if there is a woman in game, her boobs have like their own fucking mind. They kind of just do whatever they want.
Oh yeah. Them Japs love them jiggle physics.
Yes, they'll put it in games that don't even make sense.
Yeah.
Where it's just like this is a game of, it's a very serious game about fighting for to defend the land from a great evil, but one of the characters is just sat there in like a fucking negligee, and her tits are just kind of bouncing around for no reason. But yeah, she's a very serious character talking about how her father just died. Um, he was slaughtered by the enemies, and she saw it, and she's traumatized. She's got PTSD, but she sat there in a fucking in a one-piece bikini with her tits waggling about
Yeah.
as if they.
Just fucking absolutely pouring out.
Yeah, they're literally like they're like she's wearing basically like 3 pieces of duct tape, and but yeah, she's talking about how she saw her entire village get slaughtered and the women were raped and shit like this, and how she's been sold into slavery. But yet
Yeah.
she sat there in 3 pieces of fucking duct tape.
Just like chilling on the beach.
Yeah, just chilling on the beach, but like is crying and sad. But yeah, she sat there looking for fucking. She sat there looking like a fucking model. And it's like, what is this dissonance between the character design and the character's fucking personality?
Yeah. Uh, that's another thing too.
I just went on a fucking tirade.
Good. That's another fucking weird thing too, especially with like JRPGs and shit like this. It's like the dissonance, the dichotomy, I guess might be the word, between like the shit that they do in cutscenes and the shit that they do in gameplay.
Oh yes,
Like
that is a massive issue.
yeah, like I'm sure you've experienced that so many times. Where it's like in a cutscene, a fucking magic attack will just destroy a whole city, and then you do the magic attack in the actual game, and it's just like, oh, 20 damage.
It does like 20 damage. It's just like, wait a minute, I just saw this like Hiroshima-fy a fucking an entire city. I'm coining that as a phrase. Is that like it just absolutely annihilated an entire city? It destroyed the universe, but then suddenly it does like 20 damage.
Yeah. There's a really great video. I forget which game it was exactly from, but it was one of those fucking really Japanese games. There was this like 2-minute long ass cutscene of this anime chick just like starting up a nuke and then just like blasting a giant hole in the earth, and then the whole damage just comes up to, what was it, 200 damage? was like this giant elaborate animation. What does it do? Fucking gives you a little scratch.
You think that the Japanese would know the damage that a nuke could probably do? You'd think that they would be aware.
You think after 2 times.
You think after 2 times they'd get the pattern, the recognition of that. But no, apparently they didn't quite get that.
God damn it.
Either that or they're downplaying it, just like, nah, I barely scratched us.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
These are the motherfuckers that had the fucking the train system back up and running same day.
They really did.
The Japanese are just completely insane when it comes to shit.
They really are.
Like I remember, what was it? There was like the SARS attack in like the fucking metros. They had that shit still running even though it was happening.
Yeah.
They still were going. They didn't give a shit. They didn't stop at all.
Oh, sarin gas, yeah, that'll do nothing.
It'd be fine. It'd be fine. It wasn't, but that's not the point.
Yeah. To be fair, though, right? That was like the first time they'd ever experienced a chemical attack like that.
Oh yeah, like terrorism is not really a big thing in Japan. Especially at that time, there was basically like it was basically unrecorded as being like someone actively doing something like that, especially a chemical attack.
Yeah.
Even though, to be perfectly honest, they should probably be very aware of the effects of chemicals.
Cough, cough.
Cough, cough. Cough, cough, World War II. Oh, so sorry, I've got a big cough today.
Gee, are you alright, Jake?
I should be fine. I'll be fine. I can carry on doing the episode.
God damn it. I didn't know there was a cutscene here. What the fuck?
I can't even remember what it was, like Unit something or other.
Oh, Unit 731.
That's the one. I think it had a 7 in it.
Oh yeah, like people love to talk shit about my good man Hitler, but like if you wanna learn about horrific war crimes, look to the Japanese during the same era. They did some fucked up shit.
I think the main issue is that people will see the fucked up shit and see that it's really fucked up. And yes, I'm not saying that it isn't, but what I am saying
Well, it's
is
kind of funny.
One, it is pretty funny. And two, it was also damn useful.
Oh yeah.
We learned so much medical shit. Dude, from that shit specifically.
Dude, the amount of like medical knowledge that we acquired through human experimentation is insane. We're still using that knowledge today, but we don't talk about it.
Yeah, we don't talk about how we got it. We were just like, oh yeah, we just happened to find all this data on what happens through the various different levels of frostbite. Or shit like that. We're just like, no, we just found it in a bin somewhere.
We just found out randomly what happens when you like turn a human and just like put technology into him and turn him into a fucking cyborg.
Like we found out what happens if you cut off limbs and reattach them to other parts they're not meant to be, and making abominations. We just happened to find that. It was just we just found it. There was this nice kindly Japanese man I met down the pub. He showed me it.
Takeshi himself gave me the knowledge.
What's going on about?
This is gonna happen every single episode.
This is literally gonna happen every episode.
It's gonna be like 5 minutes about the actual video game, and then just like 55 minutes of bullshit.
We didn't even talk about this game specifically that much. We just start going straight in at the final fanboys. We just honed in on them immediately. And are now talking about World War atrocities.
To be fair, right?
Benefited everyone.
To be fair, right? Final fanboys and atrocities are on the same level.
Oh yes, yes. There are words that kind of go together. You know, yeah, they work together. Like you know, peanut butter and jelly. They go together perfectly. Another such word case is Final Fanboys and paedophilia.
You're speaking too true. That's too real.
It's too real, man. It's too real.
I could say some names, but I'm not going to. Woo! Today's Final Fantasy video has been brought to you by pedophilia.
Today's Final Fantasy episode has been brought by the letter P.
Good Christ.
How long have we been fucking recording? We've got to be cut off at some point. We've gone too far.
Not far enough. Let's see if we can fire more shit up.
We've got to like rename this series. Like fuck Nino sucks at shit. We've got to rename this to How Many People Can We Piss Off Today?
How long can you last through us playing this game?
It's like you won't last 30 seconds.
You won't last 30 seconds playing this game. Tired of jerking off at home alone? Try this new game.
You won't last 5 seconds playing this game. It's like, oh, hold my
Bring it!
Whip stick out, hold my beer. I will fucking show you what's good.
Oh, goddamn.
Fucking lost my mind.
Already?
This is only the fucking second episode. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so Final Fantasy.
So yeah,
Final Fantasy. So what's rare the one? I can't do it anymore.
You can't even get the words out.
I can't do it. No.
So who do you think is the sexiest child in the Final Fantasy universe?
No. No.
Christ almighty.
No. Okay. So Final Fantasy. So this game specifically.
Yeah.
What sets this game apart from the rest of the games, other than the obvious?
Other than the obvious fact that it has actual gameplay instead of turn-based?
And it's also cool and based, and only for people with big penises.
It's just a very, very well-made, pure fan service game, right?
Yes.
So it's like,
well, from the very outset of it, the whole concept of all the characters from various different games are all just come together for no particular reason. It's the ultimate crossover of Final Fantasy in of itself.
yeah, exactly. No, it's just like, it's just a very good amalgamation of the whole series, and it's also something fresh because, like I said, it's not turn-based anymore. It's just like, here's some fucking action game.
Yes.
And actually,
I think the only thing I can actually specifically like quote as being a similar sort of experience is that I've seen some gameplay of those like Dragon Ball games.
Oh yeah.
And it's got a similar sort of vibe to it of, basically a 3D plane and just go fucking nuts.
A little bit, yeah.
I haven't played any of those said Dragon Ball games, but I'm aware of them.
Oh, you should. They're so much fun. Budokai 3 and Budokai Tenkaichi 3 are some of my favorite games ever.
Well, one of the problems with this whole thing in itself is that the naming conventions for said game. What the fuck is he doing?
He's glitching out.
The naming conventions for such games are so fucking confusing.
Yeah.
But irregardless, I'm not actually a fanboy of Dragon Ball either.
Oh
and
yeah.
it's going to be incredibly difficult to enjoy them outside of the obvious, just this is fun game.
A little bit,
I wouldn't get the full experience of just like, who is this man with big hair? Who is this other man with big hair?
To be, well, you kind of not, but also you kind of do, because especially, I think with basically all of them, but especially Budokai 3, because that's the only one I really remember, it is basically literally just a retelling of most of the sagas. Very condensed, obviously. Some details are left out, but like, you get the main gist of it within the story mode.
I think my main issue, like, I'm going to talk about some Dragon Ball in general here.
Sure.
Is that I just don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, fair.
And the problem is that so many people different talk about it, and you know who I'm actually talking about here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but
we know someone.
Yes, is that they very much enjoy Dragon Ball, and I'm all for that. You can enjoy that as much as you like.
Yeah.
But
enjoy it somewhere far away from me.
A lot of people tend to it tends to be with like anime fandoms, is that if you don't watch this and you don't particularly enjoy this,
you're a heathen.
You're a heathen, and they will attempt every fucking way possible to make you watch this.
Yeah, which is just gonna put people off.
Yes, it's gonna actively make me not want to do so.
Yeah. Which is why I always try and because I won't say I love Dragon Ball, I like Dragon Ball, and I love Final Fantasy. I love a lot of other shit. But I always try to be I always try to play devil's advocate, because, like you said, the people that are into it are really into it, and are gonna try their best to get you into it as well. I'm just okay, this is it. This is what's wrong with it. This is what's good with it. If you like it, try it out. If you don't like it, leave it.
I think the best way to describe said persons is a rabid, frothy mob.
Yeah.
Is that they tend to get so worked up about this, that you don't like this, you do like this, you don't like which one do you like? You don't like the one I like.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of especially when it comes to anime series and games and things of such, that especially have different versions. That's actually the worst aspect of it. If they have different versions of it, it's like, oh, so you like this version? That's the bad version. That's the version that the most of us don't like. They have a group mentality.
Yeah.
It's a you versus everyone else kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Like, motherfucker, I don't give a shit which version it is. I just want to try out a video game.
Yeah. Well, it's like, for example, if I'll quote a game that I know you quite like Yakuza.
Oh yeah, fucking love Yakuza.
But if, for example, if I had said, oh, I actually quite liked Yakuza Like a Dragon,
I will kill you.
Exactly. This is what I'm on about. Is that if I said I quite enjoyed this version of a game series you liked, you immediately you start getting a bit defensive and saying, why do you like that version? That version's the crap version. But it's like,
well,
for an outsider, they might quite enjoy it for its systems, not knowing these other versions are versions that people like.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I would even though I fucking despise Like a Dragon, you know that.
Yes. That's why I use that as an example.
Yeah, I would.
It's almost like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Wait, do you?
No.
Even if I fucking despise a game like that, I can still notice some of the good in it, and I could also be like, you might like it. I do not, but you might.
Yes. But that's the issue.
Is
that a lot of these fandoms, these fandoms, they don't allow you such a privilege.
Exactly.
You have to like the one they like, otherwise you're dead to them.
Yeah. Which is fucking stupid, because if we all have to like the exact same fucking things, then we would get nothing new ever.
Hmm. But this happens a lot with fandoms, is that you have to like this thing. They will show it to you as much as possible. They will immerse you in it as much as possible and attempt to make you like it.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, there's a good chance it may never be a thing for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one of those things of like, not everything is for everyone.
Yeah, people need to recognize that.
That's actually another point I could bring up. Is that you know, game developers and things like get wrecked. Is that game developers they used to make games because they wanted to make it, and it was just like, yes, it might have certain people not liking it and certain people liking it.
Yeah.
But nowadays, every game has to be made for everyone.
Yeah.
No matter what, the accessibility must be 100% in forefront.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, not every game is going to be for everyone.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tend to get annoyed by this. It's just like, this game isn't like accessible, and it's like, yes,
that's the point.
Yes, that's kind of the point. There was a lot of this when Elden Ring came out. A lot of people like their first game trying because they heard people like singing its praises.
Yeah.
And so they tried it, and they were just like, "This game is shit because it's not just being easy and letting me do whatever I want."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yes,
fuck.
Some games do. I get wrecked. Some games are just like that. They just won't let you in, not without you actually putting the commitment into it.
Sometimes you actually have to try and win to get a trophy. You don't just get a participation trophy. I know you do nowadays, but
yes, this is a thing that is permeated through games these days. Is the participation trophy? I'm going to call it syndrome. Yeah, mentality syndrome.
Yeah.
Of where everything has to sing your praises for just turning up.
Yeah. You tried. Congratulations.
Oh no, you failed this quest. Don't worry, we'll give you the XP anyway. Give you a prize as well anyway. But I failed the quest.
Yeah.
I let the person die, or I lost the item, or some such rubbish.
Yeah.
But let me give you the XP anyway. Let me give you the prize anyway, because we don't want to make you feel left out.
No, fuck you. You failed. You get nothing.
Like you get nothing. You lose.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. But this is my issue. Is that why? I was just like, I failed.
Yeah.
Punish me accordingly.
Exactly.
Like make sure that I'm aware that I failed, and as a result, make it so that I learn from my mistakes. I can't learn from my mistakes if you never let me make them.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. People need to learn. Like, you need to fail, realize what you did wrong, get better at it, and then you win. If you just like, oh, you did it wrong, but, you know, you can still progress anyway, that's not teaching you the right things.
Oh, yeah. Like, trial and error is literally one of the most, like, popular and mainstream versions of learning. Just try it, it don't work, you now know that don't work no more.
Exactly.
And so you try something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite literally like I'm gonna bring a religious angle in this because why not?
Oh, let's go.
It's like the whole shit of like the you know like the whole like giving a man a fish and then teaching the it's like that. It's like the participation trophies. You're just giving them the win or the fish in this analogy.
Yeah.
But if the game doesn't give you said fish, but shows you the means to earn the fish yourself, then you will overall be better. You will have learned.
Yeah.
You will have earned that, and you've earned the right to be happy that you've earned it, instead of just the game giving it to you and you clapping your hands like a fucking seal for a second and then going to the next fucking thing. It's like, no, you earned it. You earned the right to be excited and happy that you did this because you actually put the effort in.
Yeah, you actually
instead of the
did
game
a thing.
giving it to you. Yeah. You actually did a thing instead of the game just giving it to you because it feels pity upon you. Because you were just a dumbass.
Yeah. Got your ass.
We've just been going hard this fucking episode.
Good. The audience needs to learn tough love.
We've just been deconstructing the entirety of the game industry.
I mean, isn't that what we generally do anyway?
Yes. But now we're doing it to an audience.
Now you get to listen to us, Woffle.
Yes. The waffles have many divots. Actually, that should be the name of the series. The waffle has many divots.
I'm down.
That's a fucking solid name for this.
Who's gonna Google that? Just going on YouTube like, oh yeah, let's watch The Woffle Has Many Divots.
Yeah, but it's a solid fucking name.
It is. It's
a solid fucking name. And then as a subtitle, you can make up some bullshit for the game in question.
Yeah, true.
You could go, The Waffle Has Many Divots, Episode 1. Are most of the final fanboys pedophiles?
Question mark, exclamation mark, in parentheses, real 2014.
Yes, not clickbait. Gone sexual.
Gone sexual, gone wild.
Sponsored by Ridgewater.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, fuck this. Let's just end the episode.
Oh, I'll kick this bitch's ass real quick.
How long have we been fucking going for anyway? I don't know.
57 minutes.
Oh, let's keep it going for a couple more minutes.
Sure.
Let's at least round it out to the hour.
The last one ended on 59.59, like specific.
Oh, that bothers me.
It'll round out on YouTube. Don't worry about it. Oh,
you round out. You'll add like 0.1 second of a title card. it'd be like 1 frame. Just quickly flash on the screen. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it.
I should just like use those pictures of like naked black men twerking their asses again.
Like put that randomly in the episode. One frame of it.
Like how last time with the thing that shall not be named, I accidentally flashed the fucking picture.
Yes. And it was like no one saw it. Hopefully.
It was like for a split-second frame, like it faded in and faded out immediately because I knew what was going on. I was like, I
still remember trying to put like that video you sent me of the naked black guy in the bath.
Oh yeah, on your fucking background.
Yeah, I tried to have that as my fucking background, and it crashed my computer.
Dude, your computer ran like fucking 2 frames a second. It was so funny.
Yeah, but the best part is that it crashed my computer. I turned it back on, and I carried on doing stuff.
It was still there.
When I came back to doing stuff, it was still there. And this was like this was like a couple of minutes before we went to start the thing in question. And so I had to quickly fucking turn it off because it was lagging my computer like a slag.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh god, I might be able to do it like on this one, but not that previous computer. No. Oh Jesus Christ, that motherfucker has so much fucking
god damn it
health monies.
Yeah, I think, if I recall correctly, Because you can set the level cap for the CPUs like way higher.
Yes.
I think it's right now set so it's like my max level is like level 100 and the CPU's level is like 30 levels higher than it's supposed to be. I
Well,
could be wrong on that though.
That one said it was 89.
It did, yeah.
So it is still lower than you, but like.
Oh,
Actually,
it's because I have the CPUs on fucking hardcore, so they're very aggressive.
So that makes sense. So like they're not higher level than you, but they are way fucking more aggressive.
Yeah, that explained my fight a couple fights ago, because I was getting my ass reamed by a clown.
Yeah,
I was like,
plus,
what's going on? He's attacking so fast. It's like, oh yeah.
he's attacking so fast and he does a lot of fucking damage whenever he does get an attack in.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So Nino isn't bad, he's just...
On
actually, no,
hardcore
he's
mode.
bad.
I am bad and on hardcore mode.
I've always had this as a case of like whenever they put in like hardcore modes or like really hard modes. Generally, I don't tend to play them, but when I do, they tend to be not that hard, and people tend to be really big fucking pussies about them.
Yeah, it's...
You just have to try. This comes back to our whole fucking thing of the participation medal syndrome or mentality of that like just play these hard modes. It's like if you don't like them, don't play them. But like, don't say that they're too hard, they're too this, they're too that. It's like no, they've probably been made quite well, you know, except for a few exceptions.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because actually, this is another thing I could talk about is artificial difficulty.
Yeah, because that's a problem in a lot of games. It's like, oh, it's difficult, but no, the numbers are just high.
I prefer difficulty modes where they add new stuff. For example, artificial difficulty tends to be just it ramps down your damage or your health and ramps up enemies' health or damage.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah.
But like what I would see as a true increase in difficulty is adding extra things for you to worry about.
Oh yeah.
For example, like you know, you adding like extra mechanics, like oh no, now you have to worry about your health constantly draining or something like that.
Yeah.
That's something like that. Just adding something that makes it more tricky. Not just makes it grindy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a game, I'm not gonna name the game, because we might be doing one of these for it, but, a way that they get around that artificial difficulty is, like, the higher your level is, the newer animations the enemies do. So, like, let's say level 1, right? You have...
They'll do basic attacks, or they'll just do basic shit.
Basic shit. And then you get level 2, and then they start, like, throwing off their patterns a little bit. They start maybe being a little bit more aggressive. They might use a kick move you've never seen before. And then it gets another level higher, and then they get really aggressive, and they really start doing shit you've never seen before.
Exactly. That's the kind of difficulty I like.
Exactly.
Where it's just like, it ramps it up as you get better.
Yeah.
Like it's actually a skill-based difficulty system. So it's like, the more skilled you are, the harder the game will go at you.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously in this case it's levels, but as you progress through levels, you are increasing your own skills as you go along.
Exactly. Like, in a lot of games...
Motherfucker, that motherfucker pulled out that cactar, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And just immediately fucked you.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna do it again.
Yeah, that's how the summons work in this. Well, some of the summons, anyway.
The only reason I know, I think, that's called a cactar is from fucking Monster Hunter.
Oh, that's right. They did have, like, a crossover, didn't they?
Yeah, it was in World, specifically. You could just find fucking cactars kicking about. And they were OP as shit, because you just lure a monster over there, kick it, and it just melts the monster.
Yeah.
I fucking loved using that. I remember fighting, was it a Baroth in that area? It was like the first Baroth fight. You just lure him over to that area, kick the cactus, and it insta-kills him.
Yeah. Oh god, that's so funny.
Oh, fucking hell. Like, I could talk about Monster Hunter games for days.
Yeah, same.
We'll
I
have to
love
do,
Monster Hunter.
we'll have to do one for this at some point.
We could. I have various. Although I think World, I don't know, it's a bit graphically intense still, even with the rig that I'm running. So it might cause some issues, but we can check it out.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
You can try like Rise. That shit probably isn't as graphically intensive. It is shit though.
Yeah, I'm not buying Rise. Fuck that. I already bought it on the Switch. I'm not buying it again.
Do it, pussy.
Never. I will say this right fucking now. The only way I'll touch Monster Hunter Rise on PC is if I fucking torrent it. I don't care. Sue me.
Well, torrent it then, you fuck.
I might, because I haven't played the DLC yet.
I haven't
But
played
also
the
Rise sucks.
I actually barely even played Rise in of itself. Like, I got it on the Switch because I quite enjoyed World, and it was just like, okay, this thing is similar to World. It's like a continuation of that in of itself. But then I started playing it, and I was just like, wait, this is shit. Why am I playing this?
It's so much easier and fucking, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's way fucking, like, it strips away a lot of the more interesting things.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one of my favourite weapons in a Monster Hunter game. And if anyone moans that we're not talking about Final Fantasy anymore, it's like
Suck my dick.
Is also a JRPG. You can get shit on.
We haven't been talking about Final Fantasy for like an hour. Shut up.
Do you want us to start carry on talking about the paedophilia again?
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, it's one of my favourite weapons in World specifically. Was the hunting horn. I actually quite enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a good bit of fun.
It's fun.
It wasn't my main weapon. My main weapon was hammer because why not?
Big bonk.
Yes, big bonk. But more specifically is that I quite enjoyed playing hammer when I was helping others. Like I'd jump in on like the online thing, and I would just be sitting there playing out and like knocking out fucking tunes, like helping them, and then bonking the monster in between.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh yes, this game has also got Le Hammer, Le Horn, and so I'll try it out. It's so fucking stripped back. It's so shit because all you're doing is just pressing random attack buttons, and it will just keep applying the buffs. You don't actually. There's no intention.
It's just spam, not even like, oh, do this specifically.
It's just spam. Just keep spamming and you'll just apply shit.
That's fucking gay.
Because like the original, like at least the one in World, is that you were playing fucking Guitar Hero while also playing Monster Hunter. That's why I enjoyed it because it was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because you were like knocking out tunes. But you had to like specifically load up like which attacks you wanted. Like when I got going, like I could fuck the monster while also buffing everyone. It was really fucking cool. Like the amount of times I've been sat there in the monster's face, just knocking out the guitar solo in fucking Dragon Force. Like through the fire and flames, playing through the fire and the flames, in the monster's face, smashing them around, and then fucking buffing everyone at the same time. It was ridiculous. I loved it.
Hell yeah.
But Rise absolutely fucked it because there's no intention to it anymore. You just kind of spam and you get buffs.
Yeah.
You don't even have the option to play anymore.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah, you literally. No, what I was on about is that, like before, it'd be a case of like you do a few attacks, and that would load up said abilities.
Said buff or ability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
said buff or said attack or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I did like that. Is like certain horns would give you attacks as well as buffs. It was quite nice.
Yeah.
But anyway. And so you would have to play them specifically. You would have to like press button to play them. But in Rise, you just spam said buttons, and once you've done enough of them, it would just play it automatically. Which takes away the intention.
Yeah.
It's like, I loaded up this buff, and then, oh wait, I played it, and then I played it again. Like, I double played it to increase the buff. It's like, no, in Rise, it's just spam and spam and spam until you've got enough shit, and then that's it.
Yeah. It's very, like... I don't really want to use the word casualized, because it sounds fucking pretentious, but...
It is. Like, you can just say it. It is so casualized. It's basically
really
just Monster Hunter Light.
It is, yeah. And it's not even like, because there used to be... There still is, but there used to be a big difference between, like, console Monster Hunter and handheld Monster Hunter. Those were like two different teams with two different philosophies.
Yeah, they were two different beasts entirely.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's just kind of blending together into one shit amalgamation. I feel.
I think one of the main issues with the Monster Hunter series is that a lot of the new fans of it, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I am a new fan of it.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fucking old school fan.
I started with World and I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, World is great.
I always was aware of the series. I just never played it before. But I joined at World because it looked interesting.
Yeah.
I played it and quite enjoyed it. And so, well, one, if any Monster Hunter fanboys out there that specifically wanted to say, like, you're not a real fan, well, one, shut the fuck up. Two, get a life. But three, why am I not a fan? I have played the game, I've played the games, and I quite enjoy them.
Yeah.
So why am I not a fan? And this actually comes back to the whole Final Fantasy thing, because, you know, I'm good at, you know, linking things back together again.
Full circle!
Is that, you know, the whole Final Fantasy thing of just like, oh, you've only played this game, you've only played, like, the Final Fantasy, like, 7 remake, you've only played that one, you're not a real fan, get fucked. And it's like, shut the fuck up, they played a game, they quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, they played one of the Final Fantasies and they liked it.
They quite enjoyed it. Why can't you be happy that they have enjoyed the thing that you enjoy?
Oh, you didn't enjoy all of the ones that I did. You didn't enjoy the specific ones that I did. You didn't enjoy them in the way that I did. So you're wrong.
You didn't play it like this way. You didn't play this one specifically. That one you played is shit. So like, I'm not gonna like you anymore. And it's like, what the fuck? Are you a child?
Yeah.
Well, actually, some of them, yes, but that's not the point. Well, actually, a lot of the Final fanboys are often adults.
Yeah, because this is a fucking old-ass series.
You know, which is actually more concerning, because one, you're an adult.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you still like this?
You're an adult getting red, angry-faced, like, screaming about a video game.
About a game, especially a game that's just like, it's just a silly, like, anime JRPG game.
Yeah.
Why are you this fucking in it?
That comes back to the whole, like, making it your personality. Like, this is the thing that they've attached so much time of their life to, so they have to justify it to themselves.
They have to justify their own love of this thing, which in of itself is actually a problem. If you have to justify why you like this thing, you clearly don't like this thing.
Yeah.
Now, there is a difference between justifying why you like this thing and just saying, like, yeah, this shit's got problems, but I just enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. This has problems, but I enjoy it. Versus, this game doesn't suck. I love it. It's amazing. It's the best game ever.
Yeah. If you have to rabidly fight to explain to people why this is good, there's a good chance it probably isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that would make a good end. I think that's a good ending point.
Yeah, I think that was a good episode so far.
That was a solid episode, and if you enjoyed this episode, would you be as kind to chuck a subscribe to my boy Ninopolis?
You can do that if you want to. I'm not gonna force you. I don't give a shit.
I will.
Jake will. It will come to your house.
I will. I
Fondle your
will. I will. I
prostate.
will. I will come to your house. I will come on your house. I will do. I will do so many different things. You better subscribe to it. I will be angry if not.
You're gonna need a lot of jizz.
Don't worry about that. My virility is quite high. But anyway.
Yeah.
Back onto the point.
Yeah. Goodbye.